Hello friends, we have a dual fuel gas range. This customer's complaint was that these gas knobs, when they were turning it in summer like this, they would just turn by itself back in sometime, and it was happening on some of them, maybe 2 or 3. In order to fix this issue, these gas valves, all of them needs to be replaced at the same time. There's 3 gas valves that they are 15,000 BTUs, which is the port number. This one, it's this gas valve, this one, and this one. All these 3, the port number is this, needs to be replaced. And the small one is at the back, which is the small burner compared to the large one. The port number is 827440, and it's this one. It's also looking a little bit different. See the red screw and green screw, which is totally different from all 3. There's 4 of them, and then all of these 3 that they're looking the same has a purple color on the top screw and then green screw at the bottom. So they are all the same, 3 of them. You have to replace all 4 burners gas valves at the same time. And in order to replace it, if you're a homeowner, I do not recommend you doing this, because you need to have a gas ticket, and there's a lot of risk doing this by yourself. And if you don't know how to do this, if you're a technician, then there's a 1/4 inch screw. You remove this, the gas lifts up, and I'm going to show you the gas valve lifts up. This gasket sits on top here, and you're screwing it in. You're screwing it in from the bottom, and it sits good from there. Also, there's one gas line going here, one here, which is located right here. In order to remove that, you need a crescent wrench, but a small one. You may want to have a small crescent wrench and a small ratchet in order to remove this screw, because your screw drill bit or nothing can stick here, so you really need a special tool to stick it underneath and open it that way. And the model number on this unit is DF304. I also had to replace her main relay board, which is this one. The reason I replaced this, because the customer was having issues with the oven not heating, because it's blown from the back, and this happened after the self-clean, and that's why I do not recommend running self-clean on these units. And the port number on this control board is 807052. It's only held by one screw. You have to remove this top cover from top area here. It's held by 2 screws, but you have to remove the bullnose. It's also held by 4 screws. Before you remove the top, you may want to remove each of these knobs one by one, including this thermostat control for the inside of the oven, and then after that you can do the job. Also, take pictures before you do any of the repairs here, because you do not want to put the wires in wrong places and blow the new control board and possibly cause more issues. This is the only connector that needs to be disconnected, and this one, before you pull the whole control board tray out. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very hard time, and you can possibly damage your control board or damage your wiring harness by pulling it out. Also, make sure, it's very important to turn off the gas line to the whole oven and turn off the power to from the breaker, and then you're good after that. Thank you. So the job is done completely. After the job is done, you turn on your gas but not power, and then you have to use your gas detector, and you can also use this leak detector bubble type and check on the back. There's one screw here, one here, one inside there, the back of this. I still have to add one screw here, one at the back there. This one is completely done. So these are the gas valves I replaced. And if you have a feeling that you did not do a good job, you can use this or you can use this. So the way this leak detector bubble type is kind of go like this. If you think the leak is coming from here, kind of hold it there, go back and forth, and then keep eye on it. If it's leaking, eventually you're gonna get a bubble from the side of this. That's good now. Reconnect this line and this one. Put your cover back and you hold it tight here, like that, and then slowly insert it in. You have to hold this down because there's screws on the way. See those? Hold it down, push it slowly. You're welcome. So I want to point out something here, as before you put the control board tray back in, it's very important to look at the back. You see, there's a clamp. It looks like a clamp that holds the wires in place. The back of this tray cuts from here, right from here, that way and this way. See the cut on it? It's gonna hit that and it's gonna give you a very hard time to push it back in. Please do not force it. Just be careful, use a flashlight, look at the wires, adjust it. If possible, worst case, you may want to use a coat hanger, stick it inside, lift up the wires, stick the tray. And if you force it, I can guarantee you, you're gonna damage the wires and then you're gonna have a bigger problem here. So that's very important. Anytime you put the tray back in, just wash the back of it. As you can see, the control board tray is in. I'm gonna point out something. When you're having a hard time pushing this tray back in all the way, because there's all of these wires that you can see, they get stuck at the back of this tray. I had to stick my hand, see my hand? It looks like red color. I had to stick my hand all the way to the back and kind of with two fingers, kind of hold my fingers like that, lift it, lift all the wires up, and then after that, I push the tray with my right hand side, and then it's in. And then the last thing, when you know your tray is in proper position, if you look at the back of the lock, at the bottom there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, that thing, that nipple, supposed to get inserted inside of this hole. So go back and bring it up here. And then the same thing, you want to adjust this side. Now you do not have enough grip here. So what you can do is you have to use a needle nose plier and hold it from the bottom area here, just like that, to adjust it back and forth to line up these screws. And then these screws are lined up. This one, this tray, bring it a little bit to the front from both sides, and then add your two screws back in. And when you do all of this work, make sure to have a really good knee pad, because the whole time you will be sitting on your knee pad, on your knee, and then you're gonna have a painful time if you work on this, because it's not a 5-minute job. It's gonna take you minimum 1 hour to do this job, to replace all of these valves and control board at the same time. Of course, I always mention to double check your wires before you put the tray back in. You also double check your electrical wires in this area, because you're working on it. It's possible that you may get one of the wires loose. Double check the back wires, make sure everything is connected. If you replace the gas valves, double check to make sure your wires are not loose. They're good, like that one was not good. Also make sure they're not bent in a bad position. The last thing I can show you is that these screws you see on the burner, that you can use a tiny flat screwdriver to adjust the flame on the burner, which is there, and adjust the simmer on it. These two screws, by adjusting it, you can see the difference. I do not recommend you touching it because everything comes set up as default from the factory, but just in case if you wanted to play around with it, once you put this control back in, you remove the knob. From there, you will see the screw and then you can play around with it. To put the bullnose back in, I would recommend you adding something like a box, which I'm using these boxes from the part to hold this control panel at the bottom, because it's going to be a little bit hard to reinstall it back in. So to make sure you don't squash the panel here or not drop it, you can leave it like this. So what I did was I removed this grill from the oven itself. It's on the toppest one, and then extend it a little bit out, put my boxes on, and here you go. You can have your control panel here, and there's only one wire you're going to reinstall back in, and then this part stays closed, not open, and then you can reinstall it. To install the control panel back in, is that you see these screws on all four corners. You're gonna insert it right here, and then here and there, and at the same time you see the slot open, you insert it right there. And remember, when you reinstall this control panel, this is also on your way. This door's lock mechanism is also on the way. You do not want to bend it, so you have to kind of work on it slowly, get everything reinstalled properly, and then once you know that the control panel is stuck in here, the screws are inserted properly, slowly push on it and it's going to sit down. I have the control bullnose in this position. See, it's inserted there, inserted here, right there, and at the same time it's also not lined up here. So what you can do is you lift it up a little bit. You're gonna look at it, what I'm gonna do here. With one hand it's hard, but I'm trying my best. See, it's still not lined up. What you can do is lift it up a little bit, and then you may wanna push on this just to line it up. See, lined it up. It's good here. It's good here. And now push it more back in. And now you're in a stage that the front of the bullnose is not lined up with this. Why? Because you still have to push it down. See? It's not lined up. I do not recommend using something like that, but I just show you the example of that because it's not lined up. So once it's in, kind of push it hard and then push it down. The same thing you want to do on this side. See, this side is good. You just have to push down on it. Now it lines up, you're good to go. The knobs, the shaft of the knob that they look out seems okay. If there's a little bit of adjustment, for example, this one doesn't look a straight line up, you can always open these screws, adjust it, make this shaft to come at the center, and then you can retie these screws, and that's why you have these two screws here. It's good. It's good. And now we can add 4 screws, 2 on each side. This too. I added my knobs back together. This one was the worst one. It's not at the center. See? It's not scratching. If it makes a screeching noise, then you know there's a problem. This one is the worst one. So what I did was I tried to use a 1/4 wrench. I was able to use 1/4 wrench on this one, but not on this one. So on this one I had to use flat screwdriver to open it. And now I can adjust this a little bit to the side. Seems okay now. You're gonna have the off position up. No scratch noise or screeching noise. Now I'm gonna turn on the power. The gas is on already. Reinstalling your knob for the thermostat control is also simple. I would install them one by one, it's more easier. This one goes first. You can also do some cleanup if you want. And you hold it in off position, insert it, and then this one, set it back again. Turn on the oven. If you have a lid, please close it back in. Okay, so the power is on. I came upstairs and I have this noise. Why? Because one of my knobs are not sitting properly here. So this one, see, it's sticking, which is not good. You don't want it to sticking. I still have to adjust this. How do I adjust it? Open it, remove, re-loose them a little bit. Then you may wanna change the position a little bit. Last time there was a customer asked me if I did not adjust any of these or I didn't do anything. Why do I have to adjust this? Why? Because when you receive your new gas valves and you reinstall them, you cannot install it in a perfect straight factory position. So it might be a little bit out of its position, and that's why you have to adjust this. If you're very careful in installing the gas valves, you see it's good now. If you reinstall your gas valves at the exact same position like factory, then you may not have this problem. But again, you cannot have everything perfect in one shot. So in that case, you have to adjust the bezel here. So let's turn it on now. For the first time, it may run a little bit funny. That's completely normal. So now you can see everything seems okay here. The next thing you want to do is you may want to adjust the simmers on it. See the way it looks now? It looks beautiful. I don't see any problem. If I had problem, I had to remove these knobs and use a tiny flat screwdriver to adjust these tiny screws. You can see it. By going clockwise and counterclockwise, you're gonna adjust it. But I don't see any problem here, so. Why is it making that clicking noise? I'll show you something here. If your spark module is good, the gas valve is good, your switch is good, the knob is good, the burner is good, what's causing this to make that clicking noise when you go very low? Because your igniter is not getting enough flame. If you don't have enough flame hitting it, it's gonna ground. It's gonna ground the cavity of the oven, and it's gonna cause this issue. At this moment, I do not have any problem, but just in case, if you go in a customer house and you have that clicking noise and everything seems okay, you have to find if your gas flame is low. That could be the problem too. I'm gonna run the oven. Okay, you can also adjust your time on it if you want, but I can do that. Let's run bake 350. The oven is already heating, which is good. Do we have any need for these? Yes and no. You cannot reuse it. I do not recommend you using this at all in anything. It's completely going to the recycling. But you can always remove these infinite switches. These infinite switches are 15 amp, if I remember correctly. They're By removing these switches, it's held by a tiny Phillips screw. By removing it, if you ever get a call for a similar oven that use similar switches and the switch is burnt on it or is damaged, you can just use it as an emergency and then order a new one for the customer. So in that case, you can help a customer. For example, if it's a Christmas time and the customer doesn't wait for the part to come in the meantime, you can repair it by just replacement of this switch. It looks old, but it's okay. And then you can fix the customer's oven. In this customer house I'm working, she's very sweet and nice. This is my second time coming here. Last time I was here for other appliances. And this one that I had to order parts for it. And now she left the whole house. She also gave me very delicious zucchini. She said it's zucchini cake. I usually don't like sweet stuff, but this is really delicious. I think she said her mother-in-law made it for her. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos and share it with others. You can also follow me on Facebook. It's called Hamid Appliances Repair. Thank you.